The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 235,386. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 5,663. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 1,255, with total confirmed deaths remaining at 62. We anticipate the local numbers to change as the county updates its 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Wednesday, August 26th. Governor Gavin Newsom announced he's working on ramping up COVID-19 test reliability to help test more people at a cheaper cost. He says the state is growing an existing partnership to bring down costs of testing and improve reliability in terms of tests. The partnership is with PerkinElmer to build out a new laboratory in California with a full supply chain. A state partner for more than 30 years, Newsom says this will improve reliability and help with getting test results back in a timely manner within 24 to 48 hours guaranteed. Newsom shared with flu season around the corner, the demand for testing will increase as tests will look for both viruses. He says across the state, an average of roughly 100,000 tests are being conducted per day with an average turnaround time of up to 7 days. Now, they hope to add up to 150,000 diagnostic tests per day. Chair, Senate Health Committee, and Senator Richard Pan also joined the conference to share how essential this partnership will be. He said diagnostically, these tests will help with differentiating between the two viruses. Officials did urge residents to get the flu vaccine. Newsom will share new reopening guidelines this Friday. He also talked about the wildfires across the state, saying there are more than 15,000 firefighters on the front lines and 1.3 million acres burned. And the California Department of Public Health also released the guidance for small supervised groups of children. It applies to educational and childcare settings where groups or cohorts must be limited to no more than 14 children and 2 adults. The State Department of Public Health said a cohort is a group of no more than 14 children or youth with no more than 2 supervising adults in a supervised environment in which adults and children stay together for all activities. They would also avoid contact with people outside of their group. Officials say the guidance makes cohorting practices consistent and outlines the required health and safety practices needed to prevent the spread of COVID-19 across settings, such as small group learnings for students with special needs and district or school hubs for distance learning and childcare. The guidance applies to groups of children and youth in controlled, supervised, and indoor environments operated by local educational agencies, nonprofits, public and private schools, child care providers, and day camps, to name a few. Cohorts must be in groups as small as possible in order to limit virus transmission. They noted the previously issued guidance should still be followed to those specific settings. The new rules are to supplement the existing guidance. For the first time, the number of reported new cases is at an all-time low in Los Angeles County. The Public Health Department announced the number of reported new cases has been under 1,000 since the beginning of June. In the middle to late July, the daily reported number of new cases was around 3,200 per day. Officials say Los Angeles County is meeting 5 of the state's 6 indicators that determine their progress in slowing the spread of COVID-19 that would allow the county to be removed from the watch list. They haven't met the requirement of having fewer than 100 cases per 100,000 residents just yet. As of Tuesday, the county was reporting 196 cases per 100,000. LA County Public Health announced just an hour ago that they will not be opening the school waiver process. A British drug maker has started trials of a COVID-19 antibody treatment. AstraZeneca has begun testing an antibody cocktail for the prevention and treatment of COVID-19. The London-listed firm said the study would evaluate if a combination of 2 monoclonal antibodies was safe and tolerable in up to 48 healthy participants between the ages of 18 and 55. Now, if the early-stage trial deems the antibody safe, AstraZeneca would proceed to test it as both a preventative treatment for COVID-19 and a medicine for patients who have it in larger mid to late stage studies. The Torrance Fire Department continues to be on the front lines battling fires across the state of California. Here are videos shot by members of the Torrance Fire Department showing firsthand the conditions and devastations they are witnessing. They have deployed fire personnel and equipment throughout the state of California fighting multiple wildland fires. Fire crews are working around the clock to contain fires in more than a dozen counties. A total of 36 personnel from Torrance, Redondo Beach, and other beach cities are providing various types of emergency services to the affected communities. Fire personnel are working on helicopters as flight medics, supervising bulldozer operations, and providing paramedic services to crews on the fire line. TFD members say while the assignments vary, the goal is the same: to protect life and property throughout the state. Hope you're all staying safe out there. The Los Angeles Zoo started welcoming back visitors today. All guests must have advanced timed entry tickets in order to enter the zoo. Ticket quantities are limited each hour in order to promote physical distancing. They have made significant changes to make sure everyone's visits are safe and enjoyable. They now have new traffic flows, modified access to exhibits, and some activities and facilities are closed. There are hand sanitizer stations available across the zoo, and staff are required to wear protective face coverings. They have implemented enhanced cleaning procedures for high contact surfaces and restrooms. The majority of the animal exhibits will be accessible to guests. The Los Angeles Zoo reopened after being closed for 166 days, the longest closure in the zoo's history. It was the first day of school for students at the Torrance Unified School District. The new school year kicked off with distance learning online. Here are some pictures shared by TUSD today. Superintendent Dr. Tim Stowe stopped by the YMCA to visit kids. TUSD has partnered with the YMCA to offer parents a place for childcare. Also, the district's meal program continues. Since March, the Torrance Unified School District has served more than 469,000 meals to students. But starting next week, all schools will be offering bulk pickup every Monday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Meals will include breakfast and lunch. The cost of the meals is based on eligibility. On Mondays, they will give 3 days worth of meals, and on Thursdays, you will receive 2 days worth of meals. Weekend meals will not be included. The City of Torrance has a new city manager. We want to congratulate Torrance Assistant City Manager Aram Shaparian on his new role. Effective October 1st, Shaparian will start in his new position for the City of Torrance. City Council expressed they did not want to open a nationwide recruitment, but rather appoint a leader familiar with the City of Torrance. Mayor Fury said that, quote, "Historically, we've found success in hiring from within. We knew that we wanted someone with good judgment, someone in tune with our city so that they could make educated decisions based on the city's unique needs," end quote. Aram has been with the city since 2001 and has risen through the ranks from management intern with the city manager's office to senior business manager, eventually becoming the assistant city manager in February of 2018. He will oversee 10 departments. The appointment comes after current Torrance City Manager Leroy Jackson announced his retirement after 54 years of service. Shaparian says he is humbled and honored for the opportunity. He said he will strive to continue Leroy Jackson's legacy of service and endeavor to lead our organization with integrity, honesty, and transparency.
I want to wish him greatest congratulations from myself and all the members of the council. And a resolution will be brought back at a later date.
Congratulations again. Torrance City Council passed an ordinance to ban shared mobility devices. They adopted an ordinance to prohibit shared mobility devices to be placed on any public property or to be used in the city of Torrance. They also decided to not proceed with a pilot program. The city already had a moratorium on shared mobility devices. City staff performed research on regulations and drafted regulatory framework for the city of Torrance that was shared in July. Mayor Fury said this probably isn't the best time to do anything due to the pandemic. And city staff also provided the latest updates on COVID-19 in the city of Torrance. City staff says as gyms and fitness-related businesses have been given permission by county health officials to take operations outside, they have developed a temporary commercial use of park property permit application to support these services, and they have received 3 applications for processing. You can reach out to the Office of Economic Development for information. City staff has also been working with various youth groups to assist them in developing sports camps following COVID-19 protocols. Another topic of discussion during the City Council meeting was about the future of vote-by-mail drop boxes in the City of Torrance. Council members were given 3 options to choose from in regards to the Los Angeles County Registrar, Recorder, County Clerk about vote-by-mail drop box and voter center locations. City Council unanimously voted for Proposal 3, which would allow for the county to have 3 sites as 11-day vote centers, including Katie Geiser Civic Center Library, George Nakano Theater, and the Ken Miller Recreation Center. They also asked staff to look into other facilities for voting, including El Retiro Park, Toyota Meeting Hall, and Walteria Park. They agreed with staff to proceed with staffed vote-by-mail drop boxes as done during previous elections. During the discussion, City Council asked officials from the county about the size of the boxes and concerns they had about placing them across the city. Mayor Fury asked whether the boxes could be installed for a month rather than a year, but LA County said it is more cost-effective to do a year and is a legally required program. They have plans to have 400 vote-by-mail boxes across the county. The City of Torrance is looking to hear from you during a virtual focus group for a city study. The City of Torrance is currently in the process of preparing a revitalization study for downtown Torrance and the commercial areas adjacent to it. The Community Development Department is hosting virtual focus groups starting tomorrow. It will be about 90 minutes and begins with a brief introduction followed by a guided discussion. Your input will help inform the diagnostic analysis to be presented to the city later this year. The city has a multidisciplinary team to create a revitalization plan for the city's historic downtown and surrounding corridors. The study's goals are to create a revitalization plan to improve connectivity for downtown Torrance that reflects stakeholder interests, city goals, and to devise implementation strategies to improve governance, resiliency, business activity, tenant mixing, and programming in downtown and other areas. If you would like to RSVP, please email cddinfo@torranceca.gov. The meeting will start at 6:30 p.m. And more places across the city are taking dining outside. Clutch and Coffee in downtown Torrance goes ALFRESCO. The restaurant is an off-road inspired cafe and coffee shop, and they now have an outdoor space to dine at. They serve gourmet coffee, breakfast, and lunch. And the DoubleTree by Hilton in Torrance opened their patio area today as well. They are hoping people will stop by for happy hours, specials, lunch, and dinner. They are open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and takeout is available. El Camino College staff announces they have resources to help students with mental health care. El Camino College has contracted with Protocol, the nation's leading provider of telephone-based mental triage, intervention, and stabilization services to connect students with expert assistance after student health services closes for the evening or weekend. Staff acknowledges that community college students have limited access to medical care, and with the pandemic, the challenge is worse now. Protocol's counselors will provide in-the-moment support to ECC students using a brief, solution-focused approach. Students won't have to wait for a callback from an on-call provider, but will get a direct response by a credentialed mental health professional. Free virtual telemental health sessions are available for all ECC students who have paid the student health fee and are currently attending at least one 4-credit course. Students can visit elcamino.edu/student health services to self-schedule a virtual appointment 24/7. The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce celebrated one of its members. The Los Angeles Maritime Museum has received a $10,000 grant from the Port of Los Angeles Community Investment Program to create a digital timeline of port history. Officials say with the museum's temporary closure, the website has become a critical educational tool. A digital timeline will provide a dynamic overview of port history and another way to share the museum's collections with the public. It will be featured on the museum's website at lamaritimemuseum.org. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us all of how resilient our community is and how Torrance cares. The Volunteer Center South Bay Harbor Long Beach shared how grateful they are for Albertsons Companies Foundation, Vaughn's Foundation, and Pavilions Foundation for supporting its vital Food for Kids program. They gave a $2,500 grant as part of their Southern California efforts to help local families in need. They're accepting much-needed donations by appointment only. You can go to volcenter.org for a list of items. The cans shown in the picture were a donation from the Sandpipers organization. Thank you for sharing. Now, if you have a great story to share, be sure to email us. We'd love to hear from you. That's our update for COVID-19 today. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow at 4 p.m. as Ben McCain brings you the latest updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.